I think we have to have a fundamental rethinking about how we do development in today's fast-changing world. Traditionally, people count on the government to provide for everything, right? And I think policymakers and also development practitioners increasingly realize that this is not sufficient. Okay? And increasingly, we will develop, we seek partnerships for reducing poverty and reducing inequality. And also, increasingly, there's a realization that we must use technology, for example, right, as a tool to stimulate poverty reduction and the reduction in inequality. And we have to involve stakeholders now more and more in policy deliberations and in preparations of strategies for poverty reduction. This includes people who we want to help themselves. We want to involve private sector, for example, which is a major provider of employment and government revenues. And we need to involve civil society organizations, which can play a very positive role in bringing communities closer with local government. So there are many new aspects that we need to consider as we rethink our way of measuring poverty.
We find that the traditional $1.25 per person per day threshold for extreme poor is inadequate. It's inadequate for three reasons. Number one, the cost of the consumption basket to meet the basic needs for the poor in Asia is higher than that for Africa. And number two, vulnerability to various kind of shocks and inability of poor households to deal with those shocks also affects well-being of the poor, and therefore needs to be taken into account in computing who belongs to the extreme poor. And number three, the price of the food has been rising much faster than general price level, since food accounts for a greater share of the poor's expenditure than an average household. That also needs to be taken into account. So put all the three factors together, poverty rate in Asia Pacific is much higher than the conventional wisdom would give us. This also implies that the policy packages needed to help the poor may also be much broader than just fiscal transfer. For example, infrastructures, projects that can help to make poor households, say houses and other things, more resilient to shocks, and also helping financial market to develop those products, insurance products that are accessible, affordable to the poor, will also be a useful element of the poverty reduction policy package.